Over the past 2 years, I've tested Holafly eSIMs in Spain, Morocco, Portugal, Greece, Turkey, Egypt, Nepal, the US, Thailand, Vietnam, and Colombia. Wow, that's a lot. So if you're wondering if Holafly is the best way to get data on your phone while traveling, then this video is for you. I'll share my likes and my dislikes based on my tests, which are probably the most extensive travel eSIM tests on the internet. Like this one, for example. Moment of truth. 3 bars of E, so kinda, not really. Plus, I'll show you some new Holafly features you need to know about, a new and easier way to get travel data working on your phone, and a special trick that lets you continue receiving calls and SMS messages to your home number while you're traveling abroad. I got Holafly to partner with me to create this video for you, but as you'll see, it doesn't keep me from my brutally honest opinions. And this partnership allowed me to score some special discounts for you in case you like the bells and whistles I'm about to show you. So there are several different strategies to get data on your phone while traveling, but they're not all great. The first is to just use your home plan. Verizon, for example, offers a travel pass which costs $10 a day. This might not sound crazy, but imagine going on a 10-day vacation with a family of 4. That would be an extra $400 cell phone bill. Yikes. The second option is to buy one of those tiny plastic physical SIM cards when you arrive in your destination. These are a bit cheaper, and sometimes you can pick them up right at your arrival airport. But many times you can't. Sometimes you have to hunt all over town to find a shop that sells them and then struggle in a different language to try to figure out how to set it up, basically wasting half a day of your vacation. And sometimes when you finally find a shop, you'll get scammed. Like when we paid for a 30-day SIM in Cambodia and it ran out after 24 hours. And sometimes foreigners can't even get a SIM card at all unless you have a national ID from that country, which is something we learned the hard way in Brazil. So yeah, after countless headaches, I now personally prefer eSIMs, which let me set things up in minutes, all by myself, right from my phone. It's nice to just have things work when I land so that I can focus my energy on enjoying my vacation. So before we get into how Holafly actually worked while testing across 5 different continents, I want to show you how easy it is to get international data set up in your phone using their new method. Step 1 is making sure that your phone is eSIM compatible and carrier unlocked. Most smartphones these days are compatible, but I'll link to the full list of compatible iPhones and Androids down below. Next is to buy your eSIM, and there's some important things to look out for when doing so. You can buy from their website or directly from their new iOS and Android apps. I recommend using the website because you can get a special discount using my referral link below and discount code Project Untethered. First, search for your country, or if you're heading to multiple countries, look for plans that cover an entire region like Europe, for example. That way you won't have to hassle with setting up new eSIMs for each individual country. If you're on the website, one cool new thing they let you do is choose the exact number of days that you need data for. I've tested 10 of the most popular eSIM companies and I haven't seen this feature anywhere else. With other countries, you might only have a few different options for plan durations, like 7 days or 15 days or 30 days, for example, so sometimes you pay for days that you don't need. This exact day feature is already available in many destinations and they're rolling more out as we speak. Another thing to note is that most of these are unlimited plans. This is Holafly's special sauce compared to other companies that mostly offer smaller data packages. Lastly, make sure to read all the eSIM details before checking out so you know exactly what you're getting, like which local networks you're going to be on, if there's a local number included, and if they allow data sharing. More on data sharing in a second because that's important. Okay, so once you check out here, they'll instantly send you an email with your eSIM, or you can find it within the app itself. They now have an automatic installation method for certain phones, which makes installation practically dummy-proof. In the app, go to My eSIMs, then install and activate, tap continue, read the instructions, and then click continue again. This method currently only works with Apple iOS 17.4 or higher. If that's not you, you can also install using the old school methods, which are also easy peasy. The first is to use your phone to scan the QR code that they send to your email. To do this, you either need 2 devices so you can scan it, or you can print the code out. And the last method is the manual method. On iPhone, go to Settings, Cellular, Add eSIM, Other Options, Use QR code, and enter details manually. From there, you just have to copy and paste 2 codes that you can find in the app or the email that they sent you. On Android, the process should be very similar. After you do any of these 3 installation methods, your phone will prompt you through the installation process. Just make sure to have a stable internet connection when you're doing it. You can buy your eSIM and install it on your phone anytime you want, but just make sure to wait to activate it until the day of your trip. I like to do it at the airport while I'm waiting for my flight because I can use my home data plan as my stable internet connection. You can also activate it when you arrive in your destination, but since you never know what the Wi-Fi situation is going to be in the airport, I just prefer to play it safe and do it beforehand. And to clear up some confusion here, eSIM installation is different from eSIM activation. Installation is what I just showed you, and you can do this anytime. But activation doesn't happen until you actually toggle on mobile data and data roaming for your eSIM. That's when your plan actually starts. By the way, if you're interested in eSIMs and making travel easier, make sure to like this video so I know to make more videos about travel tech. Okay, so once you have your eSIM activated, there are a few settings that you need to toggle to make it actually work. This might seem a tiny bit intimidating if this is your first time setting up an eSIM, so I'll link to a super detailed and easy to follow step-by-step guide for both Android and iPhone below in the description. Okay, so now for my honest opinions of Holafly after all my testing. I'll start with the good and end with the bad. As far as performance goes, data worked everywhere I went while traveling where you could reasonably expect a data connection. Holafly uses local carrier networks, so wherever you get service with the local carrier, you'll get service with Holafly. In the Everest Base Camp test I showed earlier, we were literally in the middle of nowhere and nobody had signal, which is why I only had 3 bars of E there. One of my biggest gripes that I used to have with Holafly is that their unlimited plans didn't allow data sharing. And as a digital nomad, sometimes I need to tether my laptop to my phone for an internet connection. The good news is that Holafly recently rolled out new plans that allow tethering throughout Europe, and they're adding more destinations as we speak. So if you need to tether, it's extra important to check out those eSIM details for your country to make sure that they've actually rolled out tethering there yet. Currently, these plans allow for 500 megabytes of tethering per day, which makes it a nice emergency backup plan for your laptop if you need internet. But if you want to do a bunch of Zoom calls or watch a bunch of videos, then it would make more sense to do that from your phone because that's where you have the unlimited data. This tethering option is also useful if you're traveling as a couple or a group. If you're going to mostly stick together, you could just buy one unlimited plan and then share 500 megabytes of data with the person you're traveling with each day. Okay, now for my complaints, and I'll tell you inside. Okay, I'll start by saying that I am not a tech genius, but when I was in Vietnam, it seemed like my data connection was originating from China. That meant the ChatGPT app on my phone was blocked while I was using a data connection. It's not a huge deal, and when I asked their support about it, they said that they connect to the best provider for each destination, which might include operators from neighboring countries depending on your location. So just something to be aware of if you're traveling to a country near China. Second, most plans do not include SMS messages or local phone calls, but this is true with most travel eSIM companies. Here's what I do to fix that. First, to be able to receive calls and SMS messages like bank verification codes to my home number, I just make sure that I turn on Wi-Fi calling on my home line before I leave home. Second, over the past 9 years on the road, I have rarely needed to make phone calls using a local phone number. So not having a local number will probably not be as big of a deal as you think. In the countries I've traveled to, most people and businesses all use either WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or some other sort of app that doesn't require a local phone number to use. In the rare instances that I do need to make a local phone call, I just load up a few credits on Skype, which usually lasts me forever. I'll be honest with you, Holafly isn't for everyone though. If you barely use your phone while traveling and just need a little bit of data to send messages and do a quick Google search every now and then maybe Holafly is a bit overkill. But if you use your phone regularly and you spend time on social media, or you like to make video phone calls, or you just plain don't want to have to track your usage or worry about running out of data when you need it the most, then Holafly is the best travel eSIM option that I've found. They now offer free refunds within 6 months as long as you haven't used any of the data. So if you're thinking of traveling within the next 6 months, you can grab an eSIM now using my discount code and then just activate it on the day of your trip. If your plans change, you can just message them for a refund. Holafly definitely makes travel more convenient, but it's really only one piece of the puzzle. If you really want to travel like a pro, here are 15 other apps that smart travelers have discovered. I highly recommend downloading them all on your phone, especially since most of them are free. All right guys, like, subscribe, and do the things. I love you. Bye-bye.